war cry of known anti-India Islamist terror organizations. These terror organizations are sheltered by Pakistan. They are based either on Pakistan soil or on Indian soil across the LoC in POK. The Pakistan deep state has in fact been using these organizations to carry out a low-intensity insurgency against India. The insurgents pushed into India by Pakistan have caused Indians immense distress. Many Indians have been slaughtered by Pakistan-sponsored Islamist terrorism. There's a long history. Examples, viewers, are too many to list here. Under Modi's NDA, New Delhi has decided to take many punitive steps. One of them was to impose massive levies on Pakistan's exports into India after a decision was taken post the Pulwama attack in 2019 to scrap the most favored nation or MFN status handed out to the bellicose state. The sanctions had the desired effect as cross-LoC trade across the Atari-Wagah border has almost dried up and Pakistan's economy crippled. The dire state of Pakistan's finances have, at least on the face of it, made it a little more difficult for Islamabad to bleed India, quote, bleed India, unquote, without risking a military response from India that Pakistan may not have the resources to respond with. Now let me tell you, viewers, just recently, after the Pakistan coalition government came into existence, one of the ministers there said that it would be a good idea to resume dialogue with India. Chastened, slapped around by Modi government, viewers, left with a begging bowl in their hands, the Pakistanis suddenly are smoking the peace pipe. Many commentators, many independent commentators, not aligned to any one particular political group, except for, of course, viewers, aligned to the integrity, the territorial integrity and the national interest. They have said that it would be futile to engage Pakistan, counterproductive. It would be seen as a reward. It would bail them up. It would bail them out, rather, economically, financially, if we were to begin trade, for instance, with Pakistan. So the Modi government's, quote, trade and terror can't go hand in hand, unquote, stand has earned India great rewards. And therefore, viewers, despite the council, the sage council of experts, former diplomats, security analysts, it was a bit shocking to hear two senior leaders of the Congress party, Shashi Tharoor, who is no bystander, viewers. He's very senior in the party. He's going to try and get elected for the fourth time from Thiruvananthapuram. He has been a former external affairs minister at the state level. And obviously, viewers, former Punjab Chief Minister, Mr. Channi, have vowed that the party would resume cross-LoC trade with Pakistan if it is voted to power at the head of the India bloc. Yes, viewers, if you don't believe me, listen to these two gentlemen. They were holding a press conference while they were campaigning in Punjab. Listen.
हमारी इरादा है कि ये सारे पॉलिसी रिव्यू हो जाए, क्योंकि नई सरकार तो नई पॉलिसी ही बनाएंगे। एक उदाहरण है ये जो कस्टम्स ड्यूटी जो लगाए हैं, ये भाजपा जो किया है, ये किया पुलवामा की बात, करेक्ट, 10 गुना बढ़ा करके टैक्स लगाए, उसके बाद बिजनेस प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं रहा। तो हम चाहते हैं कि हम भारतीय लोगों के हित में भी सोचें कि अगर हमारे लोग इसका विक्टिम हैं तो आप पाकिस्तान को क्या सिखा रहे हैं ये सब टैक्स लगा के, हमारे लोग को दिक्कत आ रही है ना। तो ये सारे पॉलिसी को हम दोबारा स्टडी करके तय करेंगे क्या करना है।
ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਹ ਮੈਨੀਫੈਸਟੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਟੂਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਲੰਧਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੜਾਵਾ ਦੇਣਾ। ਇੱਥੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਕੋਪ ਹੈ, ਬਾਹਰ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਆ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਘਾ ਬਾਰਡਰ ਨੂੰ ਖੋਲ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਇਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਦਾ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਕੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਾਈ ਰੋਡ ਵੀ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਕਰਾਇਆ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ 'ਚੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਹਿੰਗਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਹੈ, ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਫੈਸਿਲਿਟੀਆਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਟੂਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਾਵਾ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ।
Tharoor's take that the punitive tariff hike on Pakistan's exports have hurt India doesn't add up. The facts, the hard facts, in fact, suggest that India gains almost nothing from the resumption of trade with Pakistan. On the contrary, such a step would provide a much needed stimulus to Pakistan's economy. Now, viewers, I always bring you the hard facts so you can get closer to the truth. You can sift fact from fiction. Or, viewers, from rhetoric designed to appeal to certain vote banks. Now, here's how Modi government's decision to withdraw MFM status and impose a 200% hike in import duties after 2019 Pulwama attack hurt Pakistan. So let me just take you through this, viewers, because as I told you, the facts are right before me. In 2018, which was the last year of somewhat normal trade, one could say, before that attack, India's direct imports, now listen carefully, viewers, direct import from Pakistan was about US dollars 495 million, or about $500 million, which, viewers, was 0.003% of India's total imports. It's not as if India will wither away if it doesn't import material from Pakistan. Even when things were normal, the import from Pakistan was 0.003% of India's total imports. By 2022, India's direct imports from Pakistan fell to US dollars 20 million. This crippled Pakistan's economy, but also in this time, viewers, our economy has shot through the roof. We are the fastest growing international economy. We haven't missed importing a couple of donkeys from Pakistan because that's turned out to be one of their biggest exports, viewers. Few handbags, a few little textiles, this, that, the other. It's not going to affect us. Now let me talk you through more hard facts. While import curbs crippled Pakistan, there was little impact on India. Pakistan hasn't been a prominent market for Indian goods. In fact, India's exports to Pakistan, now pay attention, exports to Pakistan have seldom contributed more than 1% of India's total export earnings. Let me give you hard statistics. For example, in 2018, again, that was the last year where you could say that there was somewhat normal trade going on between India and Pakistan. India's direct exports to Pakistan in 2018, that year, fell from, so they were at about $2.35 billion, or 0.6% of India's total exports globally. Under 1%. What we are earning from Pakistan is under 1% of our total exports, viewers, globally. Hardly anything. 0.6%. Today, viewers, it's at $629 million only. So it's come down, as you can see, viewers, 5 times. Come down. And it's only 0.1% of India's total exports in 2023. So, viewers, Pakistan's flea-bitten economy and its consumption is not going to, in any case, make us very rich. Remember, viewers, that whatever exports take place will have to take place in dollars, and Pakistan hardly has dollars. So what are they going to pay us with? Pakistani rupees we don't need. Thank you very much. So Shashi Tharoor hasn't quite done his math, viewers. He's probably appealing to a large number of local businessmen who had gathered there as part of a chapter, and they were trying to get him to make a few commitments, which he did, which he shouldn't have actually. Lack of food imports from India, however, pushed Pakistan food inflation to over 40%. Pakistan economy pushed into debt with no access to India's markets. Today, viewers, they are seeking aid and dole from either the international market, most crucially from China, or then from various agencies, viewers. And that has led to a debt crisis, as you know. Denial of vital raw material imports from India has constricted Pakistan's factory output, raised unemployment there. Little wonder that Modi has accused the Congress of being Pakistan's best hope. Listen in.
मैं नहीं जानता हूं कि कुछ ही लोग हैं जिनको हमारे साथ दुश्मनी रखने वाले लोग को हम पसंद करते हैं, कुछ ही लोग हैं जिनके समर्थन में आवाज़ वहाँ से क्यों उठती है। अब ये बहुत बड़ी जांच पड़ताल का या गंभीर विषय है।
Given these statistics and facts, indeed, why would any Indian government want to hand Pakistan a lifeline, especially when it's lying prone against the ropes, viewers? And especially when, even if trade were to resume, Pakistan would remain less than a marginal economic trade partner for India. Let's open this up, viewers. What's the compulsion? What's happening here? Dr. Ranganathan is here with us. RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, Kamru Chaudhary. Let me begin with you first, Kamru Chaudhary, senior Congress leader. What is this business of throwing a lifeline to Pakistan? Opening that Wagah border, Atari border actually. It's not even the Wagah border, it's the Atari border from our side. Why would you want to do that? In will come, sorry, but contraband, etc., tucked away in all their trains, because that's what they do very well. Nothing of worth will come. Sir, I've already shown you the statistics. Itna meherbani kyun kar rahe ho aap, Chaudhary Saab, on Pakistan? What have you got there?
Thank you, Rahul. You know, your show, I like your show because it's named Hard Facts. You know, let us speak hard facts tonight.
Sure.
First of all, let me state before the nation the stand of the Congress party out here. Though I am not an official representative of the Congress party, but I live and breathe the Congress's policy and ideology. Everybody in this panel knows me very well for what I stand for. Congress party and its leaders has been maintaining it desires normal neighborly relations with Pakistan and other countries, while insisting that the onus is on Islamabad to create an environment that is free from terror and hostility from such an engagement. That is the official stand of the Congress party. Now come to the trading partners that India and Pakistan are not. You know, one report of World Bank has cited that India and Pakistan has got the potential of doing business of $37 billion annually. And you can just cross-check with your research team.
I know this figure. But there's also enough. Okay, anyhow, you finish. Yes, you finish.
But whereas what happening is now is that the bilateral trade is a meager $2 billion. There are very much incentives for India to reopen its border and have a trade with Pakistan.
Right.
Because not of the potential that Pakistan will be sending its goods here, but because India has got such a huge trade deficit with China, it needs to make up that trade deficit with Pakistan or let's say with Bangladesh. Now, what's the trade we are doing with Bangladesh? Around $13.83 billion in 2022, we did with Bangladesh. Now, why can't we do that with Pakistan? There has to be a conducive atmosphere. But the problem with Narendra Modi government, even the minister concerned, Anupriya Patel, had stated on the floor of the parliament that we are still doing business with Pakistan, albeit not through the land route, but the sea and the air route. That is stated fact on the floor of the parliament. So when we are doing business with Pakistan, why not open the borders further and do a bilateral trade with Pakistan? Now, when Rahul, you were stating about the samples that the Pakistan economy is out there, let me just show you one mirror with comparison to an Indian state.
Oh, please.
Now, what does the...
Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, you always peddle this.
10 seconds.
And it's actually
10 seconds,
factually inaccurate. Okay, my God.
No, not factually inaccurate. You can sue me. Ranganathan ji is here, the data science master out here. I cannot just lie on national television. You see, when we compare the population of Uttar Pradesh with that of Pakistan, 23 crore people population live in both the states, in Pakistan as well as in Uttar Pradesh. The GDP per capita of Pakistan is $1,464, whereas that of Uttar Pradesh is $994. You see the parity, the income differences between both the states, in between Uttar Pradesh and Pakistan, is too much to fathom.
Yes.
But the basic point is that
you're dead. You're finished with your point.
No, just one last point with regards to Malaysia.
Yes.
In 2020, India banned the import of palm oil from Malaysia. On what pretext? The pretext was that the Malaysian government criticized some India's internal policy. and we banned the import of palm oil from this. Now, what happened that palm oil, after the ban, 7 to 8 months later, India withdrew the ban silently, resulting
Kamruji.
in Adani's Fortune oil
Okay.
touching
Okay.
200 rupees a
Okay.
kg.
Kamruji.
So you are
Relax,
committing
relax.
an harakiri of foreign
No,
policy.
we are not.
because of
We are
your
not. We are not
stupidity.
committing any
You have banned
harakiri.
some more than 500.
Okay, one
apps
second. Let's go
just
point by
because some
point.
of
Very
our-
quickly. Okay, you made your point now. Relax, calm down. You made your point. Let's not be belligerent. You made your point. Now let me come back to you on a couple of things. Number one, sir, the great state of Uttar Pradesh, only since 2017, is being ruled by the BJP, barring a 2-year rule earlier. All through, we've had your allies, Samajwadi Party cycling through the state. We've had the BSP, we've had the Congress, the mighty Congress for 70 years. You've had your two main Gandhis there, Rahul and Sonia ji. जरा उनका भी जरा पर कैपिटा उनका भी कंस्टिट्यूएंसी का देख लें तो वो भी अच्छा होगा, आपकी मेहरबानी होगी सर. So viewers, look, a policy decision has been taken, one second, to bleed Pakistan economically, to impoverish them. You know why, viewers? Because that will at least make the costs of going to war with India, to risk that, much higher for Pakistan. That's the strategy. And let me tell you, viewers, India hasn't had a problem because we've shut our borders. In fact, we've done much better over the last 8-7 years. Look at where our economy and look at where Pakistan is. The great nation of Pakistan. Now, Kamruji, if it's all looking so great there, I'm sure there'll be a large number of our friends who would want to go there and live there. Maybe half of Uttar Pradesh should move there. They'll do much better. Is that what you're saying? I don't understand what you're saying. But nonetheless, viewers,
as an Indian,
viewers, we have a situation. We have a situation. Let me tell you, you are actually going to enable it. You are going to enable it, sir, by opening that trade. Do you know trade sanctions are used? Trade sanctions have been used.
Rahul, you get your facts correct. It was not India who blocked the trade with Pakistan. Rather, after the various accusations, it was Pakistan which blocked the trade with India.
Right.
Now it is the
because sir,
yes,
their goods. Sir, can I make a point?
This is the
Use your brain.
Of the
If you are going to,
okay,
one second. Viewers,
she
look.
says it is the honors of Pakistan to reopen the borders.
Yes, of course it is. Because if you know your little history, the under Mr. Imran Khan. No, let me tell you. Hang on, just a minute. Under Mr. Imran Khan's regime, there was a decision taken in Pakistan to take on the costs and start that trade. Let's make a move and talk to Delhi to resume trade. But Imran Khan said that if he did it at that time, he would look weak. Why is it that today then Pakistan is debating whether trade should be normalized and come through, no? With your little caravan. What is wrong with you? If you are going to impose a huge amount of sanctions on anything that they export, why will anyone export? It makes no sense. Anyhow, yes, Dr. Ranganathan, let me come out to you. How would you respond to the extremely logical inputs given by Kamru Chaudhary today?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists, especially to my good friend Kamru ji. Just because he has made multiple assertions, the last one I need to fact check, because although many of them are wrong, if not all, the last one, especially when he says India did not remove or block trade, it was Pakistan. This is from the Pakistani newspaper, which I'm sure Kamruji subscribes to, Dawn. And the headline is, I know if he can read it or not, India withdraws most favored nation status for Pakistan. India withdrew. Pakistan didn't say, I'm sorry, we are no longer going to be your most favored nation. It was India and Modi that did it. So please, facts. Now let me come to the main thrust of my thesis. Rahul, now it can be argued as to the best decision of Modi's in the last 10 years. Many would say highways, many would say toilets. I as a scientist might say it's giving vaccination twice over to 1 billion Indians within a year. But a lot of many people would actually say, and I would possibly tend to agree, that the best decision is to ignore Pakistan. Now, it is more difficult than it seemed, because Clearly, now even after ignoring Pakistan for 4 or 5 years, there are millions in our country who possibly love Pakistan more than they love India, or perhaps are just foolish or ignorant. The fact of the matter is that I am shocked by your brilliant hard facts that why are we still exporting worth $500 million to them? It should be zero. Why are we still importing $20 million from them? It should be zero. Now, what should be negotiated with Pakistan is not the resumption of trade. It should be the Indus Water Treaty, and I'm very glad that this Shahjahan, I think it's called Shahjahan Kandi Dam, has been constructed, and that has now the ability to stop water going from India to Pakistan and serve Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. Perhaps the only time, Rahul, I'm prepared to believe in bad karma is when I see the kind of neighbor we have in Pakistan. कुछ तो गलत किया होगा हमने पिछले जन्म में जो हमें ऐसा neighbor मिला. The entire edifice of this nation is founded upon hatred for Hinduism and of India. From Jinnah, the man who ate pork and drank alcohol, to Imran, the man who rubbed dal makhani on his chest to attract the female of the species, to now, when a prime minister or president changes, God knows, with every week, every passing week, to the army puppet now. Pakistan has been run by scheming charlatans filled with supremacist notions of religious brotherhood and hatred for India. And the hatred became acute when Pakistan broke into two of its own internal stress. A nation that was based on religion could not keep itself together to even celebrate its silver jubilee. I ask you, what more proof does one need that Pakistan is a rogue terror state when its sitting cabinet minister says on the floor of its cave or parliament, whatever it may be, that, and I quote, our big success in Pulwama is the success of Imran Khan's Pakistan. It is your success. It is our success, unquote. The rampant killings of Baluchs, Kashmiris in POK, the hounding and murder of thousands of Ahmadiyas, the bombing and killings of Shias and Sufis. Pakistan is a case study on how not to run a nation. And I'm shocked that there are Indians who still want to have trade with Pakistan. I want to ask you a very simple question, just 20 seconds. Is it not a fact that the time when South Africa was one of the 5th richest economies in the world, we stopped all contact with South Africa? Why did we do so? I want to ask Kamru Chaudhary ji, was that a right decision or a wrong decision? South Africans weren't even racist against us, but we did it on the principle. Out here, Pakistan is actively killing Indians. It is a terror state, and still Kamru ji wants to negotiate. So either you answer this question, was our completely banning all trade and relations with South Africa wrong or right? Answer that yes or no.
No, and let me tack on something more. I was going to come to that, and I made my notes for this. Now, Dr. Ranganathan, let me ask you a question. When did India resume diplomatic relations with Israel? Because we chose the Palestinians, the Muslims there. Right now, can you just give me that date?
I think it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji and Ariel Sharon who came.
That's right.
So 2001 possibly.
Yes. So before that, my dear viewers, we had no relations because we were choosing, our Muslim brothers in Palestine. Today, viewers, the trade between India and Israel is $10 billion. It has risen from 2021-22 to 2022-23 by 36.90 or 37%. Now let me take you a little. No, one second. So calm down. You're talking about sanctions. What were those principles? Why were you then having a problem with Israel? तब तो आपको Indian business की कोई चिंता नहीं थी. No, one second, viewers. One second. Right. No. I'm not talking about, you are very within your right. No, hang on. Arey, Mr. Kamru, why are you getting so upset? I'm only bringing out facts.
I cannot sit on a national panel and try to
Kamru Chaudhary.
It's a terror state.
Kamru Chaudhary.
It has committed genocide on a population which has got
and what is the Hamas? What is the Hamas?
It's a terror organization.
So how is it ruling Gaza? And if it's ruling Gaza, should we allow it to rule Gaza? Should Israel sit quietly?
Who permitted to rule Gaza in 2008? Who permitted?
The people of Gaza, they voted them.
No.
They elected them. It was a free and fair.
You get your history.
It was a free and fair election.
No, what free and fair election? If Hamas
oh my
was a
God,
terror
sir,
organization
please,
since its
maaf
birth,
kar dijiye, sir.
Now also it's a terror organization.
Okay. One second.
But one more thing. Do you consider China as
we must punish?
No.
Do you condemn? Of course I do. Number one enemy country.
then
Number
why
one
do we
enemy
have
country.
a $387
No, one second,
billion
one second. We've also reduced trade. I'll bring in RP Singh. We've also reduced
No,
trade.
why
We've
do we
also
have
had sanctions.
$387 billion
Sir, because your great
trade
Congress
deficit with
party,
China?
your great Congress party of all
Now
its
you come to
years
the
in
Congress
power,
party. This is the hypocrisy of Narendra Modi government.
hello,
And
sir,
the
please.
right-wing cabal, they do not want to listen
Okay.
to any facts and hard
Viewers,
facts out here.
the point is, what are we arguing for? We are arguing for normalizing terror. Is that what we are doing tonight? You might take any example, but is that what we are doing? That we should go there and open our borders and hug the Pakistani businessmen who can't even pay us in US dollars? To look what? To look good? Before whom? Before the world or our own people? Or before Pakistanis? What interest do we have, viewers, our great industrialists have in enriching Pakistanis? You tell me, viewers. What is it going to lead to? It's going to lead to a richer country, richer number of people who will fund more terror organizations. The Jamaat-e-Dawa, who does it raise money from? My daddy. It raises money from Pakistanis, viewers. Today, they don't have that dispensable income, so that Jamaat-ud-Dawa is looking like one of those, mangy little afterthoughts. And these people want to enrich Pakistanis so that they can contribute to jihad. Against whom? Think about it, viewers. What are we doing? This is not economics. This is a war on your country that you will end up sponsoring. That's exactly, viewers, what the Pakistanis do when it comes to arming, weaponizing, not just terrorists here, but even in Iran and, of course, in the Middle East. They have that disposable income. Do you know, viewers, that the Americans started sanctioning under Mr. Trump because they realized that the money that was given to Pakistan for aid was being taken and placed in the hands of anti-India Islamist terrorists. That's what some people in this country want to do. Let me bring in Mr. RP Singh. Mr. RP Singh, you're being accused of hypocrisy, of beggaring people in India by not having trade relations with Pakistan. Can you respond on facts to Mr. Chaudhary?
I'll respond on the facts also, but before that, let me show you this picture of Happy Singh, who gave his life at the border of the Jammu Kashmir, and he hailed from Jalandhar, and Mr. Channi was the chief minister. He didn't have time to go and visit the family of Happy Singh. He didn't have time, and today he's saying, let's create more people, let's create a situation where more our armed soldiers or our army men would be killed by terrorists. I remember a name named Zahur Watali. You know that name. What was he into? Businessman, a good businessman, but what he used to do? He used to transact between India and Pakistan and fund the terror activities. And they want to create more of this in India, so that more money can go to Pakistan, then send terrorists back to the country, to India, and cut us by 1,000 wounds. They have said they will cut us into 1,000 pieces. So that's what Congress agenda is. And actually it's a payback time, because they have got the support from Pakistan.
No, but
The
they are
deep
accusing
state,
you,
a
Mr.
person named
RP
Fawad
Singh, they are
Chaudhary-
accusing you of doing
Sir,
business
give
with
me-
China,
give me a
which is
second.
also an enemy state. Apply the same principle, says Mr. Chaudhary.
Do China send terrorists in our country, or do Pakistan send terrorists in our country?
They do.
Is the Pakistan
I will say
sending
that
terrorists?
they fund in the northeast, they fund Pakistan, which is a terror state. Forget about one terrorist, there are entirely a bunch of terrorists there. And they keep them alive. So I think on
But,
that
okay,
particular point, we're on thin
okay,
ice.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Can I expand that? I'll come to that also. But what exactly is happening? Because Fawad Chaudhary has given a statement across the border on behalf of the
Fawad
deep
Chaudhary.
state,
Who is he?
because he is under the remote control of the deep state, and because of him, because he has given a statement favoring, he wants Rahul Gandhi, he sees Rahul Gandhi as the next prime minister, and he's indirectly sending signal and messages to a certain population here that we want Rahul Gandhi as the prime minister. That's why it's a payback time by the leaders here. Whether did I interrupt you, sir? Did I ever interpret anyone? Please. I have a right to have my point of view. So it's a payback time by congressmen, whether it's Mani Shankar Iyer earlier who said, be very scared of Pakistan, they have a atom bomb. So now it is Channi or now Shashi Tharoor or their alliance partner Farooq Abdullah. I mean, they are all on the same page.
Right.
Farooq Abdullah wants borders to be open, Channi wants border to be
Let
open.
me ask Mr. Patel.
Terrorists to operate from this country.
Okay. So you're saying that any normalization will enrich Pakistan. Mr. Patel, let me ask you, on principle, I'm talking about on principle now. Should we normalize relations with Pakistan? They're sending overtures. If you were in government tomorrow after the 4th of June, what would you do if you were in the Congress?
See, if you see the history, whether any time the Congress had normalized the relation with Pakistan, second thing, always whenever it is an emergency, country as a Congress government had always worked against Pakistan. Secondly, right now, whatever discussion we are making on is about the medical tourism.
No, not medical. Mr. Tharoor is very clear.
Let me finish.
Mr. Tharoor is clear that he also wants to resume trade.
Rahul, you are talking of
Tharoor
trade.
talked about trade. Let me play out his soundbite. Please listen to him. Don't accuse me of lying and contorting. These are not things that I am saying. Tharoor ka bite chalaiye. Let's play out Mr. Tharoor. Please listen in. Don't mix up things, sir.
हमारी इरादा है कि ये सारे पॉलिसी रिव्यू हो जाए, क्योंकि नई सरकार तो नई पॉलिसी ही बनाएंगे। एक उदाहरण है ये जो कस्टम्स ड्यूटी जो लगाए हैं, ये भाजपा जो किया है, ये किया पुलवामा की बात, करेक्ट? 10 गुना बढ़ा करके टैक्स लगाए, उसके बाद बिजनेस प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं रहा। तो हम चाहते हैं कि हम भारतीय लोगों के हित में भी सोचें कि अगर हमारे लोग इसका विक्टिम हैं, तो आप पाकिस्तान को क्या सिखा रहे हैं ये सब टैक्स लगा के? हमारे लोग को दिक्कत आ रही है ना। तो ये सारे पॉलिसी को हम दोबारा स्टडी करके तय करेंगे क्या करना है।
Mr. Patel, let me come out to you. You heard Mr. Tharoor. He's not speaking unambiguously. Should we withdraw?
Thank you.
Should we withdraw the tax, the 400% tax? Should we just withdraw it and give them MFN status? Simple question to you, sir.
No, right? First thing, not. Second thing, now if you see, we are talking about.
Then why is Mr. Tharoor saying this?
See, he is discussing about it that when the government.
No, he's not discussing. He's campaigning. These are promises you're making to get votes.
Agenda.
Oh, wow.
He's saying the future agenda of
So we are saying, viewers, we are saying that we are selling. We are selling national security for votes. No. I'm sorry, sir. You are making. You are trying to ignore what Mr. Tharoor has said.
You are not. You are not.
I'm asking you, if Mr. Tharoor is wrong, why is Rahul Gandhi not coming out and saying Mr. Tharoor is wrong?
Your own perception. You put
Arey
your
bhaiya,
own
आप रोने लग
perception,
जाएंगे. Now you start abusing me. No. The point is, Mr. Patel, I'm asking you a question. If you believe Mr. Tharoor, if you do you. Why are we talking about medical tourism, which is another component? Why should we have medical tourism? Send them to China. Go to Saudi Arabia. Go to UAE. हमने ठेका ले रखा है to get every Pakistani kidney.
Arey, what, Rahul, what you are discussing?
What
you are
nonsense.
discussing about
They are shooting and killing our
policies,
people here. They are exporting terror. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan. This is a facile debate now.
This is not fact, Rahul. You are not giving justification to my statement, and I am really hurt.
Why should I justify your statement? I don't agree with it.
Arey, you don't want to listen to me what I am saying.
What are you saying? Say.
Statement.
Say.
You are not even allowing me to complete my statement.
Please, go ahead.
You just interrupt me.
Go ahead, Mr. Patel.
I was speaking about that whenever Congress as a government in the country and whenever it was found emergency with the Pakistan had not reacted. When it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he went with the bus to the Lahore, when Narendra Modi ji landed in the plane to that.
Sir, I'm only asking you about today. Forget about yesterday's Congress. I'm talking to you about today. Do you support a Congress government at the center that is going to renew bilateral trade with Pakistan? Yes or no?
No, right now. That is what
That's
the
it.
policy will be reviewed.
Good. That's it now. Now, viewers, if this gentleman.
You are saying that we are asking for vote on the base of importing and exporting policies.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
You said it.
No,
you said it. You are doing it for vote.
No, just calm down.
You said it. You are doing it for vote.
I said it in the context where you said he doesn't mean what he is saying. So I said, oh,
Arey,
then
you
is
didn't
he
listen me
selling?
first.
Then
You
is he
didn't
selling?
listen
No,
to
no,
me
one
first.
second,
You don't want
Mr. Patel.
You don't allow me to
Let me
complete my statement.
Arey, bhai, you
I
made
have
your
already
point.
said
Okay,
that no,
one
in
second,
the
one
initial
second. Okay, in the initial,
fine,
fine. Okay, we accept what you're
initial
saying.
only I said
We
no,
should say
but
no.
you don't want to
Okay,
make
we should say
justify
no.
my
Great,
statement.
we should say no. Then viewers, why is Rahul Gandhi not coming out and clarifying this? If Mr. Patel, who's a spokesperson for the Congress party, can come out and say this in great clarity, but Kamru Zaman Chaudhary disagrees with him, why is it that Rahul Gandhi is keeping quiet? Had a BJP member come and said this, you would have asked Modi for a clarification. Dr. Ranganathan, am I wrong or am I right?
Rahul, it's real tragedy but unfortunately, I think you and every other sensible person is a victim of goalpost shifting out here. So let me not further go into that morass, and let me ask a very simple question to my good friends Mr. Patel and Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Abhi ke abhi doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani hoga. There are two states, Rahul. One state is an openly racist state against its own population, but it is not racist against Indians. The other state is an openly terrorist state against its own population, but more so against Indians as well. It perpetrates terror on our soil. Now, we banned all relations with the racist state. Were we right? Were we wrong? Were we right or were we wrong if we were to ban all relations with the terror state? Answer these two questions, Kamruji. Doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Or do you mean to say that a terror state is kinder than a racist state when the racist state is not even racist against us? I am talking of Pakistan and South Africa. हिम्मत है तो जवाब दे दो, नहीं जवाब देना है तो मत देना.
अरे देते हैं ना, क्यों नहीं देते हैं रंगनाथन जी? ऐसा नहीं होता है, देते हैं ना. पहले कमरू जी को बोल देने दिए, फिर हम भी बोलते हैं.
नहीं, आप बोलिए पटेल साहब, आप बोलिए, आप पहले बोलिए. पटेल साहब, your right of way today. Go ahead.
Were we right to ban all relations with South Africa? Were we right? Yes or no?
On what basis that is banned? That is what to be also reviewed. I don't know right now about it. But no, that is not correct. And terror is not at all allowed in any country. That is also correct. That is what I am telling, that if you are justifying it, Congress had always banned Pakistan.
Viewers, let me tell you, the Congress party today has flip-flopped on a very major issue, which is, as you know, viewers, reservations and caste census when it comes to reservations. Rahul Gandhi's own father, Rajiv Gandhi, had said, over my dead body, this will never happen in our country. Mark 3 of the Congress party, which is the one under Rahul Gandhi, not under Sonia, under Rahul Gandhi, he says we will have a census. And I used to be part of a system, he said, which was against all Dalits, against every OBC, etc. I was part of it, he says. मेरी दादी जी तो मुझे बताती थी how we are against it. So today, viewers, Rahul Gandhi is even going against what his grandmother did, which is to punish Pakistan at any given opportunity by splitting it into half. It's a different matter that those gains were frittered away, but that's a different story altogether. And he's telling me, Patel, that, oh, historically, you see, Congress has done this. Congress can do a flip-flop without us even knowing it, viewers. And that is the first expression. Mr. Tharoor and Mr. Channi talking in similar tones about let's renew, health and this, and let's boost our economy here, let's get this. Why? What do we owe the Pakistanis, viewers? And we are doing fine without them. The statistics are there. Our exports, our imports have discounted Pakistan. Yet these individuals will. And look at the Israel example, viewers. Their heart bleeds for Palestinians. All these years. And the trade with Israel is today $10 billion. Legitimate question. Why did then we not recognize Israel for all those years? It was okay to sanction because their vote bank was getting affected. It's all down to vote banks, viewers. Think about it. Let me move on. Prime Minister Modi has got the entire opposition worked up about a barb he fired at them a couple of days ago. In the context of the raging debate on Muslim quotas eating into the entitlement of OBCs, the Prime Minister said that this metaphorical robbing of OBCs to pay Muslims was akin to performing a mujra to attract the minority vote bank. Listen in.
बिहार को गारंटी देता हूं, SC, ST, OBC परिवारों को गारंटी देता हूं, अति पिछड़े परिवारों को गारंटी देता हूं, जब तक मोदी जिंदा है मैं एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी और अति पिछड़ों के हकों को छीनने नहीं दूंगा। ये मोदी की गारंटी है। मोदी के लिए संविधान सर्वोपरि है। मोदी के लिए बाबा साहब आंबेडकर की भावना सर्वोपरि है। इंडिया अलायंस को अपने वोट बैंक की गुलामी करनी है तो करे, उनको वहां जाके मुजरा करना है तो भी करें। मैं एससी, एसटी, ओबीसी आरक्षण के साथ डट करके खड़ा हूं, खड़ा रहूंगा, जब तक जान है लड़ता रहूंगा।
Didn't take the opposition in the ecosystem of friendly commentators to attack the Prime Minister for lowering the discourse. Listen in, viewers.
मैं उनका बिहार का भाषण देख रही थी और ऐसे ऐसे शब्द उन्होंने इस्तेमाल किए विपक्ष के नेताओं के लिए जो इस देश के इतिहास में किसी प्रधानमंत्री ने नहीं इस्तेमाल किए होंगे। देखिए, प्रधानमंत्री पद का पूरा देश आदर करता है, हम भी आदर करते हैं। क्या मोदी जी की जिम्मेदारी नहीं बनती कि वो पद की गरिमा रखे, पद की मर्यादा रखे?
ये जो एक प्रधानमंत्री राज्य के बारे में एक काम ऐसा बोलते हैं तो इट इज वेरी बैड।
It's very bad. They're criticizing the language that was used by the Prime Minister. While the Prime Minister could be arguably accused of lowering the standards of debate, is he wrong about the opposition favouring the Muslim community in the pursuit of vote bank politics? Let's open this up, viewers. Let's ask some basic questions tonight. Mr. Bhati, let me begin with you. You're the Samajwadi Party national spokesperson. For a moment, set aside the words that were used by the Prime Minister, Mujra. What he was trying to say is that parties such as yours, parties such as the Congress, are taking from the OBC to give to a particular micro vote bank, which for you is a big vote bank. In fact, the BJP has come out and said that the Samajwadi Party pushed for Muslim reservations in manifestos of 2012 and 2014. SP tried to implement a 15% Muslim reservation in PAC recruitment. All of this is now fact, as we know. The Congress has done its own, and I've got a list of that too. So, Mr. Bhati, I mean, what he's saying is factual. Maybe you didn't like the way he said it. Fine. RP Singh will explain. But the point he was making is not wrong. It's not baseless. The facts show that you took from one community to give to another.
See, Rahul, what you are talking about is half-truth. We have always talked about, because when we talk about inclusive, it includes PDA, and PDA is the nara which we have given in this election, is we are all talking about since ages. We are talking about everyone. We have talked about only a particular class and religion. In 2012 also we have given reservation to other classes also, and we have referred that in the same, and we have also tried to implement.
Okay, there's a problem with your mic. We're going to try and repair that. Sorry about this. I think there's a problem. Let me bring in Dr. Ranganathan. Yes, you're raising your hand. Yes.
No, Rahul, you're quite right. Prime Minister should apologize, because saying that the opposition parties who placate vote banks and genuflect in front of them, dance or worse, and prostrate in front of them, that statement is much, much worse than a sitting Prime Minister saying कि जब एक बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है, माइंड मत करो कि 10,000 सिखों का नरसंहार हुआ. Well, you rationalize it, and that is so much kinder than what the Prime Minister or his language that he has used has said. This is the country we are living in. But it also has to be said that yes, the Prime Minister is absolutely right. The Congress has prostrated, genuflected, or whatever the word you might like to use, to placate its vote bank, i.e. the Muslim vote bank. And he brought out previous statements of 10-15 years ago that Prime Ministers and others have made. So he's quite right. And he's also quite right that he will go all out to prevent it from happening. But the question is, why has he also succumbed to the same for the last 10, 15, 20 years? Gujarat, he was the first one to actually take the share from OBC communities and give it to Muslim backward classes. Not only that, you can still say that yes, Muslims also have some backward classes, we are giving reservations to them, you can still say it. But why were the BJP governments all right for 30 years when blanket reservations of 4% were given to Muslims without defining them? So he also has to take the blame.
He has to take the blame. In fact, he didn't start that. It was kicked off before he came into power by a Congress government. He continued it. Why did he continue it is a question. After all, in Karnataka also, it was only towards the end of their term that they decided to strike down that quota. But at least they did. And at least they're making noises about it. That doesn't at least take away from the facts, Mr. Bhati, and that's the fact that I'm talking about. The fact is that you do give from the OBCs religious quota, which is not allowed under our constitution. And there are many examples. You didn't say anything when, for example, one second, the Minority Affairs Ministry was set up. Why should we have a Minority Affairs Ministry? You tell me in a country that distances itself from religion. Why should we have it? Why did you support it? Why did you support the Waqf Act of 1995? Why did you support the Place of Worship Act of 1991? These are religious, purely religious laws or discriminatory laws. Why should a state be doing all this? Why should the state, for example, be overturning the Supreme Court's verdict on Shah Bano?
Okay, Rahul, let me answer that. Let first understand this thing that the PDA is inclusive of everyone. It includes 90%, more than 90% of the population of India. When you talk about the religious based reservation, it was never happened in past also. Approximately 12 states in India still give reservation to Muslim community, not based on the religion, but based on the caste, and most of them are from BJP ruled states. So there is no point of talking about, because Prime Minister wants to bring this thing in the last stage where he has understood that only M is left, because P stands for previous also. So M, he is talking about meat, mutton and mujra and Mangal Sutra and all. He is not talking about marginalized people, marginalized class. He is not talking about the majdoors. He is not talking about the majboor, which he has made the country with 80 crore people are majboor on that food that he is given to the common people of this country. So that he has to talk about. His whole speech is contentless. His whole speech is only blaming the opposition party. He has to understand that from last 10 years, he is the Prime Minister. He is not Prime Minister. He is not Prime. He is not as a Prime Minister becoming the Prime Minister. He is Prime Minister from last 10 years. He has to explain to the country why there is such a joblessness in this country. He has to tell about the inflation. He has to tell about the corruption. He has to talk about the electoral bond. He has to talk about the corruption. These are the things that he has to answer.
One second. Let me just ask you a question. Why do Hindus convert out of Hinduism to Islam or to Buddhism? One small answer. Because of the caste system, right? Atrocities, yes or no?
See,
yes or no, sir?
So let's not divide.
No, let's not. I'm asking you.
Let's not. I don't want to get into the
why
religious
don't you want to get into it?
statements.
One second.
I don't want to get into
religious.
That is
I'm
not
asking you,
my
what is the
forte,
rationale?
right?
What is the rationale?
If you would have called these
Samajwadi Party
religious
spokesperson, please, I'm asking you a simple question, Mr. Bhati. Why do you believe that Hindus convert?
See, what I know is that the caste system in this
is
country,
oppressive.
The caste system,
it's oppressive, right? It's oppressive, right? Yes.
That has happened in the country from last so many
now
years.
Wait.
That's what
Now just pause. Now just pause.
That is what caste census is all about.
Now just pause. Viewers, whether it is Islam, whether it is Christianity, they don't have a caste system. If they don't have a caste system, what is this concept of Muslim OBCs and Christian OBCs?
Who are the Prime Minister's favorite
One second.
Muslims are getting reservation in Uttar Pradesh also.
Excuse me, can you allow me?
No,
one second, Mr. Chaudhary. Mr. Bhati is here. Please. He's also capable of answering for himself. Now, I can't understand, viewers, why we shouldn't break out of this and why should we have religious castes? RP Singh, could you respond, sir? Why do we have reservations, for example, Sikh castes? Isn't that also a religion-based quota?
All you are bang on, and I appreciate and accept that yes, there should be no reservation for religious caste. especially religion who don't believe in caste system and who don't follow under the 25B of the Indian Constitution. So, but as far Muslim goes, just recently, Lalu Yadav is on record saying that we'll give reservation to Muslims, not even OBC among Muslims or not. We'll give reservation to Muslims, 5% reservation to Muslims. And none of these leaders have objected to that.
Getting reservation.
Clearly shows that.
No, one second. This we is talking about all communities.
Can I complete?
Don't overspeak. He didn't interrupt you.
Mr. Bhatti, hear me out.
You're misunderstanding. Yes.
So this whole other process has to be relooked into and reviewed also. And we are for this, yes. Any quota within quota for Muslims can't be allowed.
Okay. Look, viewers.
And this will be relooked and...
This will be relooked, says RP Singh. This will be relooked. Now, viewers, why they haven't done it so far is a question that is legitimate. Why the opposition is doing it and still claiming that they are secular is the unanswered question. I'll leave it at this.
Southern states be the opposition's trump card in these elections?
Join me, Sumant C. Raman, for the most dynamic and distinct election coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis.
Elections impact Bharat's rise in the world. Join me, Nalin Mehta, for the most dynamic
and distinctive coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equals CNN News 18.
70 साल
India bloc, halt the Modi juggernaut. Join me, Nistula Hebbar, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equals CNN News 18.
किसानों
of alliances will personal equations spoil chances. Join me, Smita Prakash, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections is equal to CNN News 18.
बंद करो फिर मैं लाइट वाला हटा रहा लाइट आप 2-3 मिनट बाद बंद कर देना अब कौन सी जगह से अच्छा मिल पाएगा सीधा यहाँ है बुद्धू सर तो सो गए रिप्लाई नहीं दिया
Term dream achievable? Join me, Shapun Das Gupta, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equal CNN News 18.
Co-powered by CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand, coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, we turn the spotlight towards the entire caste quota game and also taking away the OBC reservations and handing it to backward classes within the Muslim community, or favouring one community over those who are actually the deserving ones. Now, ahead of the final phase of polling in the Lok Sabha elections on 1st of June, another setback to the Mamata Banerjee-led Trinamool Congress government. Days after the Kolkata High Court cancelled all OBC or other backward classes certificates issued in West Bengal since 2010, now the centre body, National Commission for Backward Classes,